Hello everyone, I'm John Davis and I'm a part-time digital marketer. Why part-time? I have a normal 9-to-5 job. Digital marketing is like my side hustle, something that I've been learning over the years. And in this series of videos, I'm trying to explain how anyone can get started with blogging. And you're probably sat there thinking, well, what can I talk about? What can I possibly blog about? You can blog about anything, honestly. However strange and quirky your life is, your hobbies, your interests, whatever you do for a living, people will be interested in it. So it's about creating an audience and finding your voice. So in this video today, we're going to be talking about WordPress themes. We've already done videos and decided on our platform, and we're going to set up and create a blog within WordPress. So if you've not seen it already, check out my other videos and I give you some comprehensive instructions and details and my own experiences, what's worked, what's not worked for me on creating a WordPress blog. And if you stay tuned to the end, I'll tell you what my recommended themes are for 2019. So first of all, what is a theme? Well, just to try and put an analogy on it, if you think of the WordPress blog as your kitchen, but it's literally just 4 walls, a window, that's it, there's nothing else in there. Whereas the actual theme is what's going to bring in your tiles, your worktops, your units, your cooker. It's going to bring in the functionality, the design elements, the various little features. So for example, your WordPress blog is there, the framework, the structure is there, but now we need to kind of put the content within it, and that comes in 2 forms. There's content that we create, as in like our posts, our pages, the stuff we type, our thoughts, feelings, words, everything that goes into it, but there's also the designs and features, and that comes as part of the theme. So this can be various things. It could be the style of fonts, font weighting, the gaps between letters, it could be the colour scheme that you're using, it could be the visual layout of the actual page, whether you've got the content here and a logo here and a menu and a sidebar with a little picture of you and a subscribe to my newsletter. It could be the functionality and features. It could be that you've got various different plugins, one that pops up a message after 30 seconds when they're on the screen and says, if you want more information, sign up now. Or it could be that you've got a little Instagram feed going up across the bottom of your blog showing all your latest pictures. It's just, there's lots and lots of different things that could make up that theme. Themes are really varied. Now this is going to be a true test of your shiny object syndrome, and I know that because that's what I've struggled with. I've bought quite a few themes and I really do my research, and at the time I feel like I'm making the best decision ever. I go into it and I have a list of what it is that I want. I start looking at these themes and they're really well marketed. They've all got like little demo sites you can look at, and you start clicking on them, and they've obviously put a lot of time and effort into these demo sites. And I'll be honest, I just get carried away and I like all the shiny. So you read the feature list and it's shiny. Now it took me a couple of years to realise this, but you keep it simple. Honestly, I've found a way of cutting out the shiny, of finding what works and going with that. I'm going to dive into that in a moment. So first of all, we need to figure out where you get your theme from, and that's pretty easy. So in WordPress itself, there's a themes button and you can click and add, and there's loads of free themes. So there's a lot in there, and we'll have a look in a second on how you choose which theme you want, because although there's tons in there that are free, there's a lot that you're not going to want. So that's one way. The other one is the Envato marketplace. If you go into that, it's one big marketplace that sells loads of different kind of web elements like themes and images and plugins, tons and tons of basically components people can use to make up various websites. Not just WordPress, different web platforms as well. Within Envato, there's quite a few different themes that you can buy, and I'll show you in a moment again how we find out which themes are good. Or the alternative is to go direct to the theme creator. So not all themes are sold through Envato. I'm guessing as a developer you probably have to adhere to quite strict rules and commission structures with Envato. So a lot of the good themes and that will only sell direct through their website. So how much is a WordPress theme? Well, this depends on you. This depends on what you want and where you intend to take this. You can get some really good WordPress themes for free, no cost whatsoever, and you can get some of the plugins that will improve and enhance that theme for free as well. So there is a free option. What you might find is then a few of them features, especially if we're looking at affiliate marketing and trying to build an email list and profit from making recommendations through affiliate marketing. You might find that the feature list just falls slightly shy of what we need. And in that case, some of these free websites will then have like a premium version as well. So generally, I would say your more premium themes are probably going to cost you about $70. And then the one that I use, I actually pay $20 a month. But that isn't just a theme, that comes with a kind of a collection of resources as well. It's a subscription model because they give me the theme and they give me various plugins, some quite advanced kind of marketing conversion tools as well. So it's like a package really where you get multiple components for a monthly fee. And I'll explain to you why I've chosen that route as well. Right, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through and have a look at the different things to look for when choosing your theme. So we'll jump in and out of the laptop and I'll show you each component I think is essential when you're choosing your WordPress theme and getting your blog started. So, very important, before we start diving into whether we like that theme, we need to look at whether it's even maintained and developed and supported. So I kind of have a rule myself. If the developer hasn't updated that theme in at least a year, then I'd probably rule it out, because you don't want to pay for a theme, install it, and have various issues and find that it's no longer the kind of their pet project. So some of these themes have got companies working on them that are continually updating them, continually improving them, and patching them, fixing any bugs that there might be within that theme. But some of them have just been kind of left while they've then moved on to the next project. So I'll show you how we can find out. So we're on the Envato marketplace now, which is actually themeforest.net. And this is where, if I just quickly show you, on the left hand side you've got WordPress themes here. So there's absolutely tons. There's probably thousands of themes in here. So these are the more popular ones. So I'm going to use this as an example. So this newspaper. This is a theme that I've not bought this one, but I have looked at this several times. It doesn't quite fit what I want to do and what I'd imagine you probably want to do as well, but you never know. So when we go into each theme, and we've got that list of features that we want, if you scroll down on the right hand side, there's a couple of things to look for here. So first of all, you can see how many times it's been bought, how many comments are on there, and the average rating. And then the most important bit is that last update, 1st of June 19. So we know, I mean, this is a big theme, this, but we know that they're continually improving it and patching it. So I'd be happy that that ticks the box. Whereas some of these themes, you'll go in and it'll say like trending themes or popular themes, and you'll go in and the last update could have been like 2 or 3 years ago. So you don't know how many security vulnerabilities there's been since then that haven't been fixed or haven't been patched. So like I say, I would probably say if it's not been developed within the last year, maybe even 6 months, I wouldn't touch it. And what I'll do is I'll just show you a couple of other features that are pretty useful whilst we're on this page. Like say, sales and comments. I always think it's worth clicking on the comments, and it'll show you the most recent ones, and you can take a look and see how kind of responsive they are. So usually people will use the comments just to say this isn't working. They'll normally have like say 3 to 6 months support with when you buy the thing, but people will still use the comments. So it's always worth taking a look, seeing what people are complaining about, seeing what the feedback generally is, and see if they're getting responses as well. I mean, this one, these are all raised like a day ago or 12 hours ago, and you can see that the author, the developer, is constantly replying. So they're really on it, and that would reassure me from a support point of view. So we'll go back, and if you scroll down, what they generally do is they'll give you almost like it's almost like a marketing brochure on the left-hand side. So they'll just there you go. They'll just give you all the facts. It's basically just going to break down your objections and make you want to buy that. And it's got some like demo sites here as well. So if we click on them, so generally a theme will have some demos that you can go and look at. So if we clicked on it, then we'll click on View All Demos. So this is good and bad. Now what you'll find, these type of themes are usually the most popular, but it depends what you're trying to create. So if there's all different kinds of websites that you can create. You can create almost like a magazine one, like a food recipe one. You can create lifestyle ones. This theme is called newspaper, so you get the idea of what kind of theme it is. So rather than being all about landing pages, it is more of a magazine-y one. So if we look at the default demo, I mean, it looks pretty cool. I like the way it presents the content. It's a nice looking theme, but this is the problem I've found quite a few times. And if you look on features, there's loads of features. I mean, look at these: parallax, fixed image backgrounds, mobile theme, template, smart lists. You can tie it in with like an e-commerce plugin. There's a review section, so if you click on reviews, stars review. So this shows you like a lot of the features. So this is basically one of their review posts somewhere. There you go. So at the bottom you can get these like a little plugin that shows you reviews. But this is where I've gone wrong in the past. So let's go back to the marketplace. So what we'll do is if we go to the top here, so these are the most popular ones at the moment, and you can see by the number of sales and the number of reviews that they've had. Avada, #1 selling theme of all time. Now that one there, the 7, I've actually bought this one. I actually set my wife's website up on this. So just to explain, my wife has actually started her own business in the beauty industry, and it's kind of like a part-time side hustle that she's trying to build. So when our kids were younger, we had a really poor work-life balance, and my wife actually took the step down from being a manager so that we could have a better kind of work-life balance. So we had a lot more time together, but unfortunately we had a lot less money, so we've had to kind of manage on a lot less. And that's why I ended up looking for side hustles and creating websites and looking into affiliate marketing. That's what started me on the journey. As a proud father and husband, I wanted to provide for my family. I want to be able to pay for us to go on vacation a couple of times a year, things like that. We've got that work-life balance now, but we don't have the spare cash. We have enough to pay what we need, and that's it. So the kids get all the opportunities that we can, but like me, this t-shirt I'm wearing here, I probably bought this about 6 years ago. So yeah, we definitely don't have like the spare cash to just go and spend what we want when we want. And it's not really about that for us. She's started up her own business now because she needs that sense of fulfillment, that sense of achievement. She needs to be able to take pride in her work and strive for something, strive to achieve something. So it's a funny thing when you take a step back in your career, because it's been done for all the right reasons, and that's kind of working out for us. And we, like I say, we have a lovely life, but it also takes away a lot of the things that she's been working so hard for. So the whole point of this new business that she set up was basically to give her that sense of fulfillment and something to achieve, and like I say, a way of bringing in extra income. So I initially set up a website, and this theme I'm going to show you now is the one that I used. So what I will say is what I'm trying to teach you is how to become good at affiliate marketing, how to make a second income, whether that's through blogging or YouTube or Instagram and using affiliate marketing. So the type of website I would recommend you set up is a pure blog where it's you talking about things. So whatever your subject or niche is, that's going to be kind of the core of that blog. So whereas a lot of the websites on this marketplace, they're not blog websites, they're magazine ones or landing page ones, or they're all for different types of websites, which is exactly what the one I created for my wife was. So if I was starting from scratch now with my wife's website, I actually wouldn't even touch WordPress for it because she doesn't really use a blog or anything at the moment. I would just create the entire thing in ClickFunnels. So I've traded quite a lot recently, and I've been creating sales funnels, which is like a landing page where it almost holds the visitor's hand and guides them through the journey and into a purchase. So because she's in the beauty industry, I can get away with just having a 1 or 2 page landing page, which introduces her, sells the benefits of her service, breaks down the objections that a customer might have, and then leads them into booking an appointment. Once I get a chance and can take a break from creating these videos, it's on my to-do list that I've got to create a sales funnel to replace our website. But if we look here, so this is one that I bought, and it's got loads of nice features in it, and you can do a lot with it. But this is what we call a multi-purpose theme. When I was first buying them, let's have a look, pre-made websites. So these are all the websites that are pre-made within it, and this is the appeal. So if you kind of see here, we've got one-page websites, popular ones, e-commerce ones, some that look like a CV, agency. There's tons of different types, but they're not really what we're looking for. There you can see there's like an e-commerce store, bookstore, construction. So there's loads of different types. I mean, we click on that one. This is the beauty studio. So this is probably why I chose this in the first place. So you see how it's nicely laid out. It's services. It looks good, doesn't it? But we're trying to create a blog which is a different kettle of fish to them websites. Now, what I found personally is your multi-purpose websites that do everything in one place. So they might be the most popular ones, they might be the best-selling ones, but that's, I think, because a lot of people buy them without really knowing what it is that they want and what they need. So personally, that is where shiny object syndrome comes in. You look at them and you can see that they can do everything, and it's so versatile. But what you'll find is that they can do everything, but they'll be full of different plugins, different features. They'll be bloated. They'll be so feature-rich that there'll be too much in there. For example, get more problems with them. You might only use a small portion of that functionality, and the rest of it's just there slowing your website down. So we need to get the right balance. You don't want a messy website that's full of features that you don't use that can slow the performance down and just adds that extra complexity. We're creating a blog. We're basically going to be writing articles and trying to convert visitors to that blog into customers or leads. We keep it as simple as that. We look at the key elements that you would need for that. So if you think about the blogs that you've been on, and I'll show you a couple now. So this is a perfect example, and it's took me a long time to realise this, but it's not always the prettiest sites that are the most successful ones. So this guy's a guy from the UK, Skint Dad, and he's kind of going down the money saving theme, and he teaches various things, how to save money and make money, manage money. But you'll notice there's usually with good blogs, there's a similar theme really. You get your menu at the top, you get your logo, your menu, and then you get like a slider or something to show you what the latest or the featured posts are. So we can see in the sidebar there that it's the wedding photo, and it makes us resonate with them a little bit and almost build that trust. And then you scroll down, they've got an advert there to generate revenue as featured, and they've got various UK kind of media sources that he's featured in as well. So it's obviously very successful. And then it's pretty simple. It's just posts. So you see, it's just a long list. Now, I've been speaking to quite a few people in the industry that I'm working in at the moment around these sales funnels and digital marketing, and some of them are extremely successful with their blogs. And when I go to their blogs, they're very similar. It's very basic. It's just a heading, a menu, and then these. And then what you might find is that they'll then add a little bit more engagement and kind of conversion tactics in, with like pop-ups and trying to get you on a subscriber list. But that's quite a basic website. Now, I've just had a quick look. So using this Uber Suggest tool, we can see how much traffic they roughly get. Now, the guy that runs that website, like I say, it's a very successful website. He's getting almost 60,000 visitors per month. That is a ridiculous amount of people to be visiting his blog. So he is really good. So like I say, he's the benchmark there. Mostly UK. He's actually getting more than that because that's it's 3,000 a month there, US as well. So these shiny websites with features left, right and centre, you don't necessarily need them. I'll give you another example. Tech Savvy Mama, Parenting in the Digital Age. Again, menu, slider, a little picture of who she is, and then blog post. Slightly different layout in terms of the blog post. They both got the same big adverts at the bottom, which I don't actually like, but when you've got thousands and thousands of visitors every month, you can't blame them for adding adverts on, can you? Because they'll be making money off that appearing and any clicks on it. So if we have a look at Tech Savvy Mama on this, she's getting 3,000 visitors a month, which again is really good. So just showing you them websites there. Now they are blogs, and you can see how simple works. And there's loads of different ones in, like say, the industry that I'm in, there's loads of different ones that are exactly the same. It's just very basic layouts, and they convert, they work. It's simple, you're not confusing the reader. You're not putting too much on them and sending them all over the place. In one of the videos I've got coming up, where we're going to talk about actual writing your first post, we'll talk a little bit more about how to format your blog post as well. And what you'll find is a lot of the blogs that work, that convert really well, they use quite big fonts. So I look at them sometimes and I have to kind of zoom out to like reduce the font size because I'm so used to working on big screens and small fonts. But that's what works. You need it to be so that people can just kind of skim read quickly and then get to the main points. So it's very important to look at the design elements and keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss.